Okay, it's Wednesday 24th of March. I'm out here to give you drainage video number 4, hopefully a little bit of an update as to where we are. So after the last video, which was released last Tuesday, when we were delighted to report a really good day. We'd put 1,000 meters, hit that target, massive target, 1,000 meters of pipe in the ground that day. And on Wednesday it rained, and it rained not too heavily, but it was consistent rain, and it caused us a problem, slowed us right down. We actually got nearly 600 meters of pipe in the ground on the Wednesday, but what we learned from the week before was that after rainfall like that, the next couple of days are really difficult. So what we did with the forecast the way it was, we decided to send the contractors home early for the weekend, let the rain come through. Hopefully then the forecast at the time was to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday dry. They come back to the site on Monday, and hopefully it would pan out and go in our favour. And unfortunately, for a change, the forecast was accurate, and it went in our favour. It was a good call. So we didn't put any pipes out here on Thursday, Friday last week, and the lads took the opportunity to catch up with a few of the bits and do some of the tidying up work that needed to happen. So that means that today is day 10 of the project. Initially it was a 22-day project. That's the estimates that we've got. 22-day project in which we're supposed to be putting on average 600 meters of pipe in the ground every day to hit the target and complete the work in the 22 days. And today, as I say, due to the delay last week, knocking 2 days off last week, we're now today on day 10. So I'm just going to run you through the numbers. And week 1 we worked Tuesday to Friday, 4 days, and obviously we expected a slowish start, but we had some poor weather at the end of the week, and as I say, we learned lessons for week 2. But week 1 we managed to put around 2,000 meters of pipe in the ground, 2 days at 600 hitting targets, and 2 poor days where we only achieved 400 give or take in the ground. So week 1, 4 days work, and we put 2,000 meters in the meters of pipe in the ground. Week 2, as I said, we called it early, and we only worked 3 days last week. Despite that, as I said in the last report, one of those days was a really good day, 1,000 meters of pipe in the ground. So in week 2 we managed to put 2,500 meters of pipe in the ground, which is in 3 days is really strong. And then this week, so far this week, Monday and Tuesday, so yesterday and the day before, we've managed to hit 1,000 meters both those days. It was actually 950 yesterday and 1,050 the day before. So the team have really hit the ground now. Waiting for the rain to pass through was a good decision, and we're back hitting big numbers again out here on the course, which up to yesterday means that we've put 6,500 meters of pipe in the ground. In order to reach the target of the 22-day estimate, we'd need to put 600 meters of pipe in the ground each day, and we're actually averaging now, up to yesterday, 725 meters per day. So we're ahead of schedule, which is great news, because every day we get ahead of schedule is a day that we won't be out here on the course doing this work when golf returns. So we're quite happy at the moment that we're on track to shave at least 2 days off that 22-day target. So what does that mean in reality? So the first has been completed today. You remember we left some areas due to them being quite wet, but today we managed to finish the first this morning. The second was completed anyway previously, and the 16th was also completed yesterday, and the boys will finish completing on 17 today as well. So 1, 2, 16, 17 will be complete by the end of today. And then the hope is that we can then move on to 5. We're doing from the mirror pond up to the green, and then we're going to tackle the top half of 14. leaving until last the third fairway, which is going to be a challenge. It's probably the wettest of the areas, hence we've left that to the last, and it's also obviously the biggest of the fairways that we're trying to do. It's nearly 3,000 metres, that one. So if things go well, we should only have 1 week of disruption while you guys are back. There were a few comments that were received. People thought we might get all this work done before you returned for golf. That was never on the cards. What we were trying to do was get as much of it done as possible before you come back, and it looks like we'll achieve that with only 3 weeks without you here, and 1 week whilst you're back playing golf, which is obviously a big win. The other thing today is a thanks to Stuart Pole, who has left me his drone. I hope I won't crash it. You're about to see I'm not only a novice cameraman, film editor, blah blah blah, I'm also a novice pilot these days. So there's some drone footage coming which really helps to show you what we've done and the extent of the work we've done. And so I've piloted 4 holes to show you the work that's done. And I just want to show you some of the first fairway here. This is obviously completed last week. The area that we've done today is further back, but what I want to show you really is what's happening in terms of the cleanup. Volunteers are doing a lot of this work, the vast majority of this work. So the lines are filled, the fairway's been cleaned up. There's more to do. It's not perfect yet, but it's very, very good. And a huge thanks again to all the volunteers for what they're doing. But this is what you can expect to see when you come back. So all these drainage lines will be covered under a local rule. So if you happen to land on one, you take a free drop behind and then play the green from there. I'm just out here on the second, and you've hopefully just watched the drone footage. No doubt you saw the green patch in the middle of the second fairway. I'm just going to show you what that is. So where we've hit some particularly wet areas whilst doing this drainage work, what we're doing is following behind and making good. And what we've done here is put some seeding mats on. So this area's been smoothed over, flattened out, seeded, raked, prepared, and then the seeding mat is put over. And what the seeding mat does is help germinate the seed quicker, protects it from the birds obviously as well, which is an advantage. Any rainfall can get through this stuff, but the seed will germinate quickly under here in comparison to areas that aren't seeded, that aren't covered. And I'll show you this again in a future video, and hopefully you'll be able to see exactly how this works. Is today's activity then. We're currently on the 17th. We'll get this finished today, the 17th, all the way back to the ladies' tee. So the drainage has gone in from the ladies' tee all the way to the green on this one. And we've also got the volunteers working on the ditch to the side here, so they're tidying up some brambles, and there's a general tidy up going on, and the volunteers are helping with that to get the course ready for a return next week. As you can see, lots going on. Just while we're on 16, I'll just show you the difference in the land. You can see where the fairways have dried out just a little bit after 4 or 5 dry days, and you can see the difference in the work that we're doing. There's a lot less mess around. There's a little bit, still some tidying up to do, but you can see there's a lot less mess around. Whereas up here on the 16th in the dip, this is sort of 20-30 yards past the ridge at the bottom there, 150 yards from the green. This is the wettest area on this fairway, and you can see even after the dry weather that we've had for a few days, working in these conditions does create extra work in terms of repairing in the softer areas. That one's a drier run, and then as you look up there, you can see that one's not so pretty. It's going to need a little bit more work. It's all superficial, nothing that concerns us, but it's just adding to the project. But it's really the benefit of doing the work at this time of year is that we're doing it ahead of the return of golf. So here we are, the twice daily tea service has arrived. Everybody stops for a quick break and a snack. Well deserved. And here we go. No video is complete without a wave from Dave. So I've thanked the volunteers repeatedly, and I couldn't say that enough really. Done a great job for us. But I wanted to just add to this video a note of thanks to the staff, to our staff. We are currently 2 greenkeepers short, so we're recruiting at the moment for an assistant and a deputy head greenkeeper following James's promotion. And so with 5 guys on the ground, they're taking a lot of work on. It's a huge project, working with all the volunteers, and I really want to just take a minute to say thank you to them. Really working hard, and it's much appreciated, and it shows. You know, the course is in pretty good shape, particularly considering the amount of work that's going into this drainage project, which is, as I say, a game changer for the club. So big thanks to all the staff. James heading the team now, doing a great job, hitting targets in fact exceeding targets I should say, day after day after day. Jim Bob, Adam, Steve and Luke really working hard, and they all deserve your pat on the back. Thanks boys. So I suppose to wrap up, it's Wednesday. We're 4 or 5 days away now from a return to golf, and so it's probably prudent that I tell you what else has been going on the course. And as I said in the previous video, we've got a couple of our guys constantly getting the course ready as much as we can. Now obviously my social media streams are no doubt as full as everybody else's with all the golf courses and all the work they're doing in preparation for a return to golf. Now our focus has been on getting the drainage done. That's not to say we're not working on the course, obviously we are, and we've shown that, but we're not going to be as ready as we would like to be for the return to golf. But what I can tell you is next winter you'll thank me for every day we've spent on this project, because you'll be out here, you'll be playing golf, and the course is in pretty good shape considering. And I'm going to end with a drone footage, hopefully if it works, of the 18th, give you an idea of what you're coming back for. Course is as I say, it's in no way in a bad condition, but we've put a lot of focus into the drainage project, whereas a lot of other clubs no doubt have spent all their time preparing surfaces, etc. But we'll catch up quickly. I think within a couple of weeks of this project being over, we'll have caught up and there'll be a few GUR scars from the project itself, but other than that we'll get back on into a great condition as soon as we can, and look forward to decades of playing golf on a much drier course. So here's the footage of the 18th for you. Remember, you can like, share, comment on this post. Let's see if we can get a thumbs up if you'd take a 5 down here next week.